tutorial for scripting languages practical. Hello, this is a tutorial I am going to take you through all the tasks. I will explain logic behind the code, demonstrate how models, functions, and execute the script live in our terminal. We will cover modular arithmetic in Python and JavaScript, score classifications, and associated data structures. So, look at Python first. In our calculator model.py file, I created function for basic math operations, addition, subtractions, multiplications, divisions, and modulo arithmetic to meet the requirement for handling flexible arguments. Each mathematical operations has two distinct functions. These distinct functions handles two parameters, and we have another version that also handles three parameters. The two parameter functions is R2 into bracket A B, and the other handles three parameters or input like R3 ABC. If you examine the division and modulo functions, notice that I built an explicit zero division validation check. If B is equal to 0, this prevents runtime crashing the application, returning a readable message instead. Now we will be moving to our main.py file. So as I said, you can see in the file, the calculator model.py file, the functions we have add to with two parameters and or inputs, the subtraction, addition functions, division functions, modulo functions. So as I told you, it's going to return a message, so it prevents the application from crashing. This message is in the string, that is error division by 0. One is error division by 0. So we are going to move to our main.py file. So our main.py file is here. So as you can see, I imported model using calculator import model as calc. As you can see here, I imported calculator model as car. This gives us a clean namespace alias. I then call every function using different sample argument. So when I'm calling a function, I have to use a different argument to call the function. So we continue to the next. As you can see, executing Python, we are going to execute Python in our main, that is in the main.py file. That is what we are going to execute in our terminal. So when we execute, we all see the output of the script we are having. So as the script or the script you have created, so after running it, you see the output of the Python file. The operations calculate accurate and our zero division checks response as expected. So that is what we are going to do now. So let's open our terminal. So let's open our terminal. Our terminal is also going to be open for us to test our main.py file. This is our main.py file. So that is what we are going to open. We are going to open our terminal. So here is our terminal. Our terminal is going to open right now for us to code or to test our main.py file. So we continue. So we open our we have opened our terminal. So we open the folder in which the post is in using the cmd command. So to open, we type cd and with the name of the folder you want to open, in which so since our folder is in another folder, we are going to open another folder after we enter into our document. So we enter the folder. Now we are going to enter the folder our course is in it. So this is called scripting. Language test. So we have opened. So now to run a Python file, you have to type the Python. You have to type Python with the name of the Python file you are going to run. So our Python file you are going to run is called main.py. This main.py integrates all the files, the JavaScript files, the other Python files like calculator, modularity. It joins it together. So when you run the main.py file, everything runs. The main calculator runs, program runs. So we are going to run for everyone to see. So you type Python main.py. You run. When it's successful, we see that our course is correct. So have you seen? It says Python calculator model definitions, so which means our course are correct. Addition has two parameters. We have addition that has two parameters, addition that has three parameters, subtraction that has two parameters, subtracting for three parameters, multiplication for two parameters, multiplication for three parameters, division for two parameters, division for three parameters, model for two parameters, and model for three parameters. So our script is correct. So as I said, whatever code you type, Python, the main thing when typing Python code is the indentation. So this indentation can cause error. So you have to check your indentation very key. That is the key. So now you open our calculator model.js file. So that is our JavaScript file for the calculator. So that is what we are going to open. Our calculator. So here is it. So in the JavaScript, I utilized modern ES6 model syntax. In calculator model.js file, every function is exported using named export declarations. Over in main.js file, I imported all exported functions under a single namespace using import star as from as the code you can see. So the code I'm showing you here, the import I imported, here is it. So I imported it from the main JS. So I exported the cal function from the JS script to the main JS. So the main JS means I've imported that functions from the JavaScript file. So as you can see, so we continue. You run. When you run the main JS, correct results, which means our tax is done. So when nothing appears, which means the main JS file is correct. when there is an error, it will show in the terminal. So let's test the main JS file. So you have run the main.js file, and when you are running a JavaScript file, we use node with the name of the JavaScript file. So as you can see here, we have the same answer matching with the main file. So the main.js file is a file which we have imported the function. The functions in the main.js file are imported functions, which there exported function we exported from the Java, the calculator module.js, that is the JavaScript file. We exported it, so we imported into the main.js file. So which means every file is being integrated. As you can see, every file is being integrated. So I'm sure you can see very clear what is going on in the terminal. Viewers, I'm sure you can see. So I'm sure, yeah, you can see, yeah, you're able to see what is going on. That is good.